Starting with the election for the leader of the Green Party of England and Wales, the number of votes cast were as follows. Ron, reopen nominations, 149. Ellie Chowns and Adrian Ramsay, 3,705. And Zack Polanski, 20,411. So I'm happy to declare that Zack Polanski is the new leader of the Green Party of England and Wales.
Thank you very much. Thank you to every single person who voted for me. I promise to work every single day to deliver environmental, social, racial and economic justice. And to those of you who didn't vote for me, this is a democracy. We don't have to agree on everything. We just have to have common cause. And I give the same commitment to you. I will work every single day to grow this party. So thank you very much. And the work starts right now. This weekend, I will be in Cardiff with Anthony Slaughter and the Green team in Wales. They are a perfect example of where Labour's failed and broken promises has caused absolute devastation and destruction. And Reform are trying to swoop in. We are ready to take that fight to Reform. And in 2026, we will see Greens elected to the Senate. We listen to the poorest communities, whether they're migrant communities, disabled communities, the trans community, working class communities. Whoever needs us to have their back, we will be there. We will be there to amplify their voices, to listen to the most marginalised and minority communities, to speak with them, not for them, and challenge truth to power, to take on power and wealth in this country. And we absolutely recognise that migrants are very much the backbone of this country. Our country has problematic history that we also need to come to terms with, but also we have a beautiful history, a beautiful present and a beautiful future of what we are when communities come together. So let's have a very clear Green Party message. Our communities will always stand together.
I think what it really points to is everyone knows that the Green Party cares about the environment and nature, and that's never going to change. Those are really important to us. But actually what people don't know is that we want to lower people's bills. We want to nationalise our water companies. We want universal and free childcare. I could give you a whole list of policies, but my point here is that people don't necessarily know those are the things the Green Party stands for. And so what I think my success shows today is when I talk about bold leadership, being really clear about what we stand for and what we stand against. I think that's what the membership want, and I'm pretty sure it's what the country's going to want too, so I'm looking forward to growing the party. Well, the water companies are fundamental to nature. We know that the more sewage that's pumped into the water, and indeed the effect of agricultural pollution, is really, really bad for our rivers. And nature really matters, because I can talk about human rights all day, and it's incredibly important, we do. But actually, if nature collapses and we don't have nature, we have nothing else. One of the reasons I didn't talk about it as much in the press conference is because everyone knows that I care about nature. Everyone knows that I want to tackle climate change. I'm the leader of the Green Party. And so what I'm really keen to do is make sure that we're broadening what people know that we care about and what our policies are about. So eco-populism is recognising that the 99% share so much more in common than the 1%. The 1%, when we talk about corporations, are destroying our environment, destroying our democracy and destroying our communities. And the 99% have so much more in common, whether you're talking about working class communities, someone who's self-employed or running a small business, someone who's got a precarious life where they don't know where the rent's going to come from. Combined all together, we know that the climate crisis is going to make their lives so much harder for all of these people. But actually, the climate is probably something they don't think about every day. What they think about is how they're going to get food on the table and heat in their homes. What the Green Party is going to do increasingly under my leadership is be talking about the everyday issues that people really care about and then combining it to the climate crisis. I despise Nigel Farage's politics and everything he stands for. He takes misinformation and lies and then combines it with a powerful story. We will never take the misinformation and lies, but what I think we can learn from is the powerful stories, which is why we often see Reform polling at the top, because people look at the Labour government, see a government that's completely failed them, and they're looking for alternatives and solutions. Now, Nigel Farage's solutions will almost always make things worse, and actually it's a hateful, divisive politics that's everything I reject. But I do believe there is a space on the left of politics and on the progressive side of politics to say if you care about protecting the planet, if you care about protecting nature and you want to lower your bills, then actually we have powerful stories too. And so yes, what I want to see is cutting through, more and more people knowing about the Green Party and really growing our membership. Well, first of all, I'm hoping to intend to change that from today. I think there's a wider conversation here, though, about the fact that Nigel Farage calls him a populist. He's no populist, in the same way he's not a patriot. Patriots don't hate their neighbours. Patriots don't hate people because they come from other countries. Actually, patriots love this country. They're secure about the fact that we've always been based with different communities working together. And he's not a populist either. Populism means for 99% versus for 1%. He literally is trying to protect the 1%. So in terms of how do I believe we can grow our party, I believe we can grow our party through a populist message where people recognise they are the lead characters in our stories. They're the people that we're looking to empower their lives, so we don't have a life where we just survive, but actually everyone can thrive. Want to reclaim the word populist, word patriot, and even the flag. I think we need to stop giving these symbols and these ideas to the right. Just because they shout louder or they often own the media, that doesn't mean we have to cede the ground. Ultimately, caring about your country, caring about communities, and being proud of the country you're from are absolutely green values. I speak to loads of MPs on a regular basis, but what I'm saying both publicly and privately, is the Green Party got 39 seats, second place seats at the last election. We want to turn them to first. We also got nearly 2 million votes. I'm absolutely convinced that the future of the Green Left lies in growing and building a Green Party. It's not my job to manage or tell other people what to do, and I certainly wouldn't even dream of trying. But what it is my job to do is make sure that the Green Party is boldly putting that message forward, and we're at least curious about what it is that Jeremy Corbyn's doing, and I'm certainly watching, but my main focus is growing the Green Party. I think that's unrealistic right now, and I think with what's going on in Ukraine, there's clearly strong arguments for why we need to remain in NATO for now. What I'm arguing, though, is we need to start conversations now about what does a different alliance look like. NATO, with Donald Trump at the helm of it, this is a man who is out of control, who is threatening to annex Greenland, and he's saying that he wants to keep the nuclear-first alliance, whereas Green Party policy is to reform NATO from within, but remove nuclear weapons. Now, I would still be pro that if that was going to happen, but I think it looks increasingly unlikely. So what I've been suggesting and will still be saying is we need to start conversations right now with our European neighbours. Brexit has been an absolute disaster, and the fact that Nigel Farage was at the scene of that crime and still has the audacity now to be at the centre of British politics pretending he has solutions to help people, we need to rebuild those relationships with those European neighbours, but not based on nuclear weapons, but based on peace and diplomacy, and actually what does it look like to all argue for a more secure world.